Good morning and welcome to First United Methodist Church on 2nd Street. Thank you for joining us today. Whether you are one of the traditional family that has been here on a regular basis or you've just joined us during this time of unprecedented living in our community, we're thankful that you're here, and we pray that the Spirit of God has given you help and hope during this time and that we've been part of that for you. I'm Diane Salter, and I'm a retired pastor from this congregation, and I am here on Transition Sunday. It is the Sunday between when our former pastor, Kathy Boylou, has moved on to her new appointment as district superintendent, and we await the coming of our new pastor, Reverend Steve Livermore. Today, in this Transition Sunday, we're going to be talking about all things new. We certainly are longing for new things in our life, and we know that God is in this, and we look to God for making all things new. But it's about a story, about the story at the end of a book. We all like a happy ending. When I was a child, one of my favorite stories was a story of a girl named Heidi. And Heidi had to live with her aunt because her mother was no longer living, and her aunt had now received word that she needed to go and work somewhere else. And Heidi was going to go and live with her grandfather in the Alps. She was only 5 years old. And that was going to be a big change. There were lots of challenges in Heidi's life. But I'm going to read you the very ending of the story. It goes like this. Will it be the same tomorrow? Yes, it will, Peter assured her. With this, she was content. And as she had so much to think about, she just paused. She didn't say another word until they reached the cabin, and she saw her grandfather sitting under the fir tree on the seat he had fixed there so that he could watch for the return of his animals, which Heidi and Peter had looked after that day. The little girl ran toward him. She was followed by Daisy and Dusky, the goats. And Peter called, "Good night, Heidi. Come again tomorrow." She ran back to say goodbye, and she promised to go with him the next day. Heidi was feeling happy. We have another book that has a great ending. And those of us who are believers and follow Christ say that we know the end of the story. In these challenging times, it's always good to remember the end of the story. But it's also very, very important to think about what we do in the meantime. Today, we're going to be talking about a story with a happy ending and what we do while we get there. Will you worship with us now?